sometimes you can have lists that can be actually turned into new lists. In other words, what you're looking at here are a number of different transactions, and we have every conceivable piece of information about the transaction. We have the invoice, we've got the order date, the ship date, the company, the parent company, you know, where they're located at, everything. We have the reps, we have the product, we have the category, we have the vendors, all right? What we want to do is from this data, let's say you go to a company, you start working at a company, and you tell them that you need to have a listing of all of the companies. And they say, well, we don't have a list of all the companies that we deal with. And so you say to yourself, okay, I got it. So you tell the customer, or tell your boss or whoever, you say, listen, generate me a sales list like we have here from our accounting system with every conceivable field that there ever could be, export it out into a worksheet like you see here. And you would say things like, well, I need, you know, all the stuff that I just described, all these different fields. Because what you're going to do is extract out a customer list, extract out a list of sales reps, extract out a list of all the products that you sell, and a list of all the vendors who you buy from, all right? And if you have all that information built into each of the records, each of the transactions that you're asking for, and you say, listen, give me the sales, or give me a sheet like this for the last 5 years or the last 10 years, whatever you want to do, to be sure that you get everybody and everything in there, all right? This is probably one of the more difficult ones to kind of explain, so hopefully I haven't lost you yet. So here's what I want to do. Each one of these sheets down is a duplicate of this one here, okay? So I want to take this one and I want to turn it into a list of customers, meaning just left over with just the columns that have to do with the companies, all right? And that's it, get rid of everything else. Now, you have to understand, let me give you an idea here. We have here about 10,000 transactions, so we've got quite a bit of stuff here. And just so you know, we've got about 90 companies. We have about, I think about 40 different countries. We have about 15 different sales reps, and I think about 30 or so different vendors. So we're going to be able to, in this case for companies, whittle this thing down to giving us just one company listed. So in other words, we're probably going to have Bon Appetit here many times throughout here. So what we're going to end up eventually having is just one listing of Bon Appetit, one listing of Chop Suey Chinese, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, how do we do this? Well, we're going to use the remove duplicates feature to make this all happen. And you're sitting here probably going, how the heck are you going to do that? Well, watch this. We're going to go over here to data, go over to our remove duplicates, all right? Hit unselect all, and we're going to pick all the fields that have to do with the company in general. And that means that we're going to pick company, or I should say company ID, company, parent company, the type of company, the territory or zone, and the country. And we might even go as far as the rep number and the rep, only, and maybe also to their percentage, only because each of our reps, there's no more than one rep per company. Okay, so we can do that. So this way we'll get the company listing, and we'll eventually also be able to see who the rep is for each of those companies. So that's what we want. I think that's all we would have for that. So that would all be what would have to do with the company. So we do that, all right? Now, what we're basically saying is that based on the fields that are checked off, if you find, which you will, many, many occurrences of the same information that's in these fields for many rows, because obviously when you made a sales transaction to a particular company, all that information along with it went in there as well. So we're just saying that if you find more than one transaction that has the same information on each of those rows that you found, get rid of all of them except for the first one. All right. Now remember, we had a little over, almost 10,000 sales transactions, and I told you that we've got maybe about 90 or so companies that make that up. So we do this. All right. You hit OK, and it says it removed 9,904 duplicates, left us with 90 companies, right? We hit OK, and now when you go through this, every one of those companies that you see listed in column E is unique. You will not see it listed more than one time in there. Okay, and they're not alphabetical, but they're in there. Now, for this company listing, doesn't make any sense having these first three fields there, so we can select those, right click, and delete those. All right. Over on the other side here, doesn't make much sense beyond the rate percentage there for any of that, right? So we just go all the way across, right click it, hit delete, and there you go. So there is your bona fide customer listing based on customers that purchased from you in the past, whatever it was, 5 or 10 years, right? So there they are. Not bad. Now, of course, it would have been pretty good if when we ordered the data initially, that it would have been great to have maybe the contact name at the company, also the phone numbers, email addresses, things like that. So that's the other stuff that you'd want to tell whoever that you want to bring in for each row or each record of data. Okay, so now let's try this for the sales reps. We'll go to sales reps here, go to our data, remove duplicates, unselect all, and the fields that have to do with our reps would be what? Well, probably the rep number, right? Their ID, the rep, and the percentage. Now, again, this would have been also good to have maybe the rep's phone number and email address. So those would be fields that you would have wanted in that data as well. But that's about all that we would be able to pull from here. So then we'll go ahead and hit OK. It gets rid of everything but 15 of our reps, or 15 rows, which are all unique reps. So we'll go ahead and hit OK on that. And there's your reps. No duplicates over there. Not bad. All right. So far, so good. Let's look at products now. All right. We'll go somewhere in the data. Okay. Hit our remove duplicates. Now for products, we'll hit the unselect all. Scroll down here a little bit. And we definitely want the SKU of the product name, the category of the product, right? ID number, the category, the vendor, and the vendor ID, or vendor and vendor ID also of that product. And look at this. How about also the price that we charge for the product and the cost of the product? We have those fields in there, see? So that's pretty neat. And then once you've done that, all right, then we can go ahead. Now, I'll say this: if you over the years, obviously the prices will change. So this might not be the stuff that you'd want to bring in, okay? Because that will be different, you know, throughout the years. So we could maybe leave that off, but I'll just leave it on there for the heck of it. So we do all that, hit OK. 77 products, all right? So we'll hit OK. And then there you go. And of course, on this one, we can say, well, since it's products, I don't need any of this stuff up to that point, right? Right click it, delete it there. And then over on the other side, over here, quantity is not going to do us much good. Total's no good. Cost is good. Total cost is no good. Bonus, we don't care about that. So we'll right click that, delete it, and there we go. So there's our nice little product listing. Not bad. So like I said, this might not be relevant. You might want to take that out. Because what will happen most likely is that you're going to get duplicates of the companies, because there might be the same company having sold it for $6. And now at that time the cost was $4 or something like that. So that's where you might run into trouble there. Other than that, it works fine. All right, one more, and then we're done with this one. So we'll go over here to vendors now, right? Again, we'll go to our data tab, go over here to our remove duplicates, unselect all. In this case, then all we really care about is the vendor ID, and I don't think anything else would want to have in there, because the vendors are going to be coming up with a lot of different product that they have. But then again, maybe what we can do is show the vendor product A, the same vendor, product B, that type of thing. So maybe we'll do that. So what we'll do here is we will pick product name as well. All right. And of course, well, in that category, we'll just leave just the product name. So we'll hit OK on that. 77. Hit OK. Now that means we have 77 vendors. There's probably fewer vendors, but one vendor might have multiple different items that they sell to us. So we'll just go ahead and get rid of all up to there and delete that. And then on the other side, I mean, we could, you know, keep the maybe what they charge us for. So we can go ahead and just get rid of these guys and these guys here, right? What I did, just so you know, I know I did that, and I didn't really say how I did that. I selected this first, right? Then I held down my control key, right? And I selected those there, right? And then I just did a right click, hit delete, and there we go. So there you go. So there's a unique listing of all your, oh, get over a little bit more here, of all your vendors. And what you can do too, and I haven't shown you how to do this yet, this is coming up, we can go onto that column, that field, go over into data, hit A to Z over here, and sort it that way. So you'll see maybe, well, maybe we'll do it by vendor. We'll do this one here. So go ahead and hit A to Z and see how you can see. So we got 4 Alaskan seafood vendor, that's the company, and these are the 4 products. And what you can do too, just in case this is what you're going to want to have, maybe you want to have the vendor in the beginning. So we can very quickly move the vendor to the beginning just by clicking onto the column, pointing to the side here, hold down the shift key, hold down the mouse button, and then drag it, you can see that little band there, to the very beginning. See where it's at there? Let go of the mouse first, and there you go, and you've just kind of flipped it around. That beats having to do the, well, no, it's quicker than the cut and paste. In any event, hopefully this will help you with what you're doing with your data. Kind of a desperate measure to come up with a company listing and a rep listing and products and vendors and so forth, but you know, it's a tool, and it's something that you can maybe use from time to time. So thank you for watching the video, and take care.